Have you ever wondered why, despite getting good grades and following all the rules, most people still struggle with money their entire lives? The truth is, schools don't teach you how to actually build wealth. They teach you how to survive in the system. From the very beginning, we are told that good grades and a stable job are the keys to financial security. But this is one of the biggest financial lies ever taught. Schools make you believe that getting a high-paying job is the ultimate goal, yet they completely ignore teaching you how money works, how to invest, or how to make money work for you. You learn about taxes and budgets in the most boring way possible, but you never learn how debt can be used strategically, how interest can either bury you or make you rich, or how assets differ from liabilities in real life. Even worse, the education system glorifies saving money in a bank account, while inflation quietly eats away at your hard-earned cash. By the time you graduate, you are loaded with student loans, no financial literacy, and a mindset that working more hours equals more success, while the rich have been quietly leveraging money, investments, and assets to multiply their wealth without breaking a sweat. And this isn't just theory. Look around and you'll see millions stuck in the 9-to-5 grind, struggling month to month, all because they believed the lies schools told them about money. One of the biggest lies schools teach is that debt is always bad. From a young age, we're told to avoid borrowing at all costs, but the truth is, not all debt is created equal. Smart people use debt as a tool to create wealth, whether it's taking a loan to invest in a property that generates income or starting a business that multiplies their capital. Schools never explain how to differentiate between good debt and bad debt, leaving most people terrified of using leverage, while the wealthy are quietly building empires with it. Another financial myth you were fed is that your salary defines your success. You're led to believe that working for a company, climbing the ladder, and getting annual raises is the only path to financial freedom. But the reality is, relying solely on a paycheck will never make you wealthy. Paychecks stop when you stop working, but assets, investments, and businesses keep generating income even when you sleep. Yet schools never teach about investing in stocks, real estate, or businesses. Instead, they drill into us formulas, dates, and irrelevant facts that have zero impact on our financial future. They teach you to calculate percentages for math tests, but never teach you how compound interest can turn $100 today into $10,000 over time. The sad truth is, the education system prepares you to be an employee, not a financial strategist. And by the time you realize this, most people are already drowning in debt, paying unnecessary taxes, and struggling to make ends meet, all because they trusted the lies schools told them about money. Another massive financial lie schools drill into your head is that saving alone will make you rich. Save your money, don't spend it, and you'll be secure, they say. But they never warn you about inflation, taxes, or the hidden fees that slowly erode your savings over time. A bank account isn't a wealth-building tool. It's just a safe place to store money, while the rich are using their money to create more money through investments and assets. Schools also make you think that investing is risky and complicated, but the real risk is doing nothing, watching your money lose value while others are multiplying theirs silently. On top of that, the system teaches you to follow the traditional path: get a job, buy a house, pay off a mortgage, retire at 65. But the wealthy don't follow this path. They focus on financial education, multiple streams of income, and building assets that appreciate faster than inflation. One of the most shocking things is that schools rarely teach you about entrepreneurship, yet starting your own business is one of the fastest ways to break free from the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. They also fail to mention networking, negotiation skills, and understanding money psychology, all essential tools the rich use to stay ahead. By the time most students leave school, they're trained to work for money, not to make money work for them, which is exactly why the gap between the wealthy and the middle class continues to widen year after year. The final and perhaps most important lie schools teach is that financial freedom is something you achieve slowly over decades, if at all. They want you to believe that wealth is a distant dream, only reachable after decades of working long hours, paying taxes, and saving pennies. But this mindset keeps most people trapped in a cycle of mediocrity. The reality is that financial freedom isn't about luck. It's about knowledge, strategy, and action. Wealthy people understand that learning how money works, investing early, and taking calculated risks can accelerate your financial growth far faster than any traditional path. They focus on creating multiple streams of income, leveraging other people's money and resources, and continuously educating themselves about markets, businesses, and opportunities that that schools never touch. If you truly want to break free from the lies you were taught, you have to unlearn most of what you were told about money and start thinking like an investor, an entrepreneur, and a strategist rather than an employee. It starts with small steps, learning to differentiate assets from liabilities, understanding how interest and debt can work for you, and realizing that your paycheck alone will never define your wealth. Once you adopt this mindset and take action, the financial world opens up in ways schools never prepared you for, and you finally start building the kind of wealth that lasts for generations, rather than just surviving month to month like the system expects you to. Now that you understand the lies schools have been feeding you, it's time to focus on what to actually do to take control of your financial future. The first step is educating yourself. Real financial education that schools never provide. Read books, watch content from experts, and study how money works in the real world, not just on paper. Next, start building assets, not liabilities. Every dollar you earn should either grow, generate more income, or give you long-term value. This means investing in stocks, real estate, businesses, or even digital assets that appreciate over time. Another critical step is learning to leverage debt and other people's resources wisely. Loans, partnerships, and investments can accelerate wealth if used strategically. Don't just rely on a single paycheck. Create multiple streams of income so you're never dependent on one source. Finally, adopt the mindset of the wealthy. Think long-term, plan strategically, and focus on opportunities, not limitations. Remember, breaking free from the financial lies of schools isn't a one-time choice. It's a complete shift in thinking, habits, and action. If you start today, you can be among the few who not only survive, but thrive financially, creating freedom and security that generations after you will benefit from. But here's the harsh truth most people don't realize. Understanding these lies is only half the battle. Knowledge without action gets you nowhere. Schools never taught you the most important lesson about money, that time is your most powerful asset. Every day you wait, inflation, taxes, and missed opportunities quietly chip away at your potential wealth. The rich know this. They start early, make consistent moves, and compound their money and skills over time. This means even small investments, when done smartly and consistently, can turn into life-changing wealth decades later. It also means you need to stop following the crowd blindly, avoid consumer traps, unnecessary debt, and the illusion of instant gratification. Instead, focus on financial independence, spending less than you earn, investing the difference, and constantly expanding your financial knowledge. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and think strategically about money, because your environment shapes your financial destiny far more than school ever will. Ultimately, escaping the lies that schools teach isn't a one-time choice. It's a complete shift in thinking, habits, and action. If you start today, you can be among the few who not only survive, but thrive financially, creating freedom and security that generations after you will benefit from. But here's the harsh truth most people don't realize. Understanding these lies is only half the battle. Knowledge without action gets you nowhere. Schools never taught you the most important lesson about money, that time is your most powerful asset. Every day you wait, inflation, taxes, and missed opportunities quietly chip away at your potential wealth. The rich know this. They start early, make consistent moves, and compound their money and skills over time. This means even small investments, when done smartly and consistently, can turn into life-changing wealth decades later. It also means you need to stop following the crowd blindly, avoid consumer traps, unnecessary debt, and the illusion of instant gratification. Instead, focus on financial independence, spending less than you earn, investing the difference, and constantly expanding your financial knowledge. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and think strategically about money, because your environment shapes your financial destiny far more than school ever will. Ultimately, escaping the lies that schools teach isn't a one-time choice. It's a complete shift in thinking, habits, and action. If you start today, you can be among the few who not only survive, but thrive financially, creating freedom and security that generations after you will benefit from.
In the end, the biggest lesson schools never teach is that financial freedom isn't something that magically happens, it's something you create. You can't wait for someone else to hand you wealth, and you can't rely on a paycheck alone to secure your future. It's built by taking control of your finances finances, making informed decisions, and thinking like the wealthy from the very start. This means questioning everything you've been taught about money, unlearning the lies, and replacing them with strategies that actually work in the real world. Start small, but start now. Invest in your knowledge, build assets, create multiple income streams, and don't fear calculated risks. Surround yourself with mentors. Read, learn, and apply what you discover every single day. Remember, the rich don't just work for money, they make money work for them. And that's the mindset that separates the wealthy from the rest. So ask yourself, are you going to keep following the path schools laid out for you? Or are you ready to break free, take control, and start building the kind of wealth that lasts for generations? The choice is yours, and the earlier you start, the faster you can turn the lies you were taught into your advantage. Here's the reality most people never face. Knowing the lies isn't enough. You must act, and you must act consistently. Every day you wait, the gap between you and financial freedom widens, while those who understand money are quietly multiplying their wealth. The final step is taking control. Create a plan, set clear financial goals, and commit to learning and applying real-world strategies. Start by tracking your money, understanding where it goes, and turning expenses into investments wherever possible. Educate yourself relentlessly about stocks, real estate, business, and other wealth-building opportunities. Break free from consumer traps, avoid mindless spending, and leverage your skills, time, and resources to generate income that grows while you sleep. Most importantly, adopt the mindset of the wealthy: patience, discipline, and a long-term vision for your money. If you do this, you won't just survive, you'll thrive. The lies that schools fed you were meant to keep you dependent, but armed with knowledge and action, you can turn those lies into your stepping stones, creating a life of financial freedom, security, and abundance that most people only dream of. Now it's up to you. Will you continue to follow the path they laid out, or will you take control and rewrite your financial future?